2025. Stayed here last night at the Goodwin Hammock Camp. Gonna go, it's like 7 point something miles to Kenansville, Lake Jackson camp tonight. That's where the other two's going. And kind of have a mile schedule they have set up, so they did 15 yesterday, so they can do a little shorter one today, and then like 11 tomorrow, and still stay in track for their miles. Fine by me just to do 7 miles and hang out by the lake. But it's a little after 10. My tent was pretty wet yesterday. From yesterday's morning, when I set it up here, it was still pretty wet. So I just kind of loafed around. I got up 7:30 initially, and it was like 8 something when I got out of bed. So yeah, about to take the tent down, and I got everything else packed up, and on the trail we'll be, and see whatever there is to see along the way today. So pretty much since I left camp over in the woods, I've just been walking across this prairie. Got a nice breeze, got some cloud cover over the sun. So not bad. I think I'm going to these trees over here, but you never know. There's always a chance it's going to turn. Sometimes trees in Florida are like a mirage. You can see them, but they're not really there. You never actually get to them. Oh, I forgot to say earlier, last night we had a big raccoon come into camp, and then there was a couple other ones you could hear scurrying around in the trees. Probably a little pond of some kind over there some time of the year. Doesn't look very wet at the moment, but and then we had a hog come into camp. We were still up when the hog come rooting around. As soon as it saw us, it like snorted and ran away. A little dried up wetland, it looks like. I'm sure it's still mucky in the middle. See what I mean? We're going in a circle now around this little pond, so it could go off in some other way, go nowhere near the tree. Just never know. That cloud cover and the breeze sure is nice though. If you're going to walk across the open prairie, cloud cover and a breeze is always a plus. See what I mean? The trail come by that tree, right around there, and I come across all that wide open field, headed for the trees. Nope, it turns left, so I can see posts going all along out through there. So it just takes me over 2 and then walks along the trees. Oh, no shade. At least I still got some clouds. It's not terribly hot, so but I was just like, man, I'd much rather hike in the trees. But it's probably easier to maintain out here than just run down it with a lawnmower. Oh well. We'll find trees at some point today, I'm sure. So there's this Blue Blaze Trail. The sign says it's the Lake Jackson Observation Tower, 0.6 miles west. And I looked up in the Far Out app, and all the comments say the tower is like barely above the trees, and the buzzard's roost there, so it's covered in buzzard poop. So I'm not going to do the mile to go check it out, mile round trip. But I only got 3 miles left. I'm going this way, and it's just been kind of in the woods like this for the last little bit. The trail's just been following this old fence. There's still some places got fence, but it's mostly just rotten posts. Oh. But it's about 12:15. So we've been on trail for 2 hours. We left camp at 10:20. And we had 7.8 miles, and we only have 3.1 left. So, making pretty good time today. My feet's feeling pretty good. Just a little tender still on my little toes, but I think with the 8-mile day today, it's not going to overdo them. I do got some chafing on my back from my pack, my waistline. I had the same problem on the AT. I don't remember having that problem on the Foothills Trail, but it wasn't quite 100 miles. And I've been like 150 miles, somewhere maybe even closer to 200 at this point. So that's about time to start having problems, I guess. But that'll go away shortly, and then I should be good to go. Shouldn't have to worry about getting foot problems or anything else. It takes a few 100 miles for your body to get fully acclimated to what's going on. But this is quite nice. Shaded for the most part. The woods are open. Hear the honking of sandhill cranes somewhere. I hear them things a lot more than I see them. There's some hunter's deer stand right over there. I've seen quite a few right on the trail. Maybe you can see it right over there in that tree. Kind of silver looking thing. And a ladder going down to the ground. Yeah, good day so far. Had breakfast. Blueberries and cream oatmeal and coffee. Something I don't usually do. And even though I resupplied with mostly snack food, I was like, still think I got too much food. Well, I'm trying to eat a little more of it. I don't want to get to my next resupply point and still have food. I got a pack of ramen noodles and some mashed potatoes I've been hauling since day one. I'm probably going to make a ramen bomb for dinner. I got rid of the north side I'd been carrying since day one last night. Had tuna Alfredo. It's pretty good. It's nice and quiet, other than the breeze. And I'm surprised with as much human activity, so to speak, with the hunters and ATVs and stuff like that. I haven't seen more trash. So, you go, hunters, for not trashing up your hunting area. But you could definitely spend weeks here in Three Lakes, just meandering around the different trails. There's an abundance of camping. I mean, there is practically anywhere you can throw up a tent or a bivvy if it's not in bug season. I brought my bivvy on this trip. I was using it to start with. Once the bugs started coming out, nope, no more bivvy. Scared off some doves. I'd still use the bivvy in my tent if it was a torrential downpour, just to make sure me and my sleeping bag remain dry. I've never had leaks with my tent. Just if it builds a lot of condensation inside the rain fly, and you have rain beating on the outside, it just knocks that condensation back down on top of it. Hopefully this campsite on the side of Lake Jackson is nice. I know the lake is that dark brown water, so probably will be no swimming. I know there's people in Florida that swim in that. I'm not a fan of the dark water. The mountains have ruined me. Now, outside those little hand pump wells, this is the best water source that I've seen in a while. At least it's flowing. And it's somewhat clear. Like I can see the bottom at least a foot or so down. And then I don't know how deep it gets out that way. Still not going swimming in it though. Probably an alligator in there somewhere. Ran into a hiker going south. Didn't really chit-chat, just passed one another. I don't know if it's a through hiker or not. So this side over here don't look too good. But same water. And that's the only other hiker I've seen in quite some time. So, not too many out in this section of the Florida Trail. Probably about 1.5 miles from camp. Should be done by, let's see, it's 12:35. Probably by 1:15 at the latest. Oh man, almost looks like they're making a hole. Probably people come in and do donuts there, you guess? Put it in 4-wheel drive. Probably a fun spot to do some donuts. Of course, there's always somebody who's got to come bring their trash. You couldn't throw that out in your own backyard? Of course not. Don't want your yard looking trashy. This is always the creepiest thing about being in the woods. I don't know what it is, but as far as discarded clothes, it's women's panties and children's outfits. I don't know. I don't know what the explanation is. I mean, it just makes you wonder, you know what I mean? I don't know. I have a snake crossing right there. I'm not sure what kind of snake that is. That's a pretty snake though. I know it's not poisonous. You got round eyeballs and the narrow head. It's like, nope, you're getting too close. I'm out. It's the first live snake I've seen on the trail. And it looks like we have arrived at camp. Awesome. Nope, not yet. This is the dry pond campsite. We're like 0.2 from our campsite at Jackson Lake, or Lake Jackson. And another sign over there. I can't read it from here. Oh, I see the picnic table over there. So not a bad little campsite, I suppose. No water. I'd much rather have water. Especially a lake. And wash all the sweat and ass off.